Former cruise staff reveal 9 shocking secrets about life at sea. What if I told you that right now, as we speak, there are cruise ship workers trapped at sea, working 18-hour days, living in windowless cells smaller than your bathroom, and they can't leave because the cruise line is literally holding their passport hostage? Former cruise staff are finally talking, and what they're revealing about life below deck is so shocking, so different from what passengers see, that cruise lines have spent millions trying to keep these stories quiet. We're talking about secret morgues, underground mafias, crew members dying and nobody knowing for months, and a caste system so blatant it would be illegal on land. I've spent weeks digging through testimonials from hundreds of former crew members, legal documents, investigative reports that cruise lines tried to bury. And let me tell you, once you hear what really happens below deck, you'll never look at a cruise the same way again. Some of these secrets are disturbing, others are just wild. But the one at the end, it's something that happens on every single cruise, and passengers have no idea they're literally surrounded by it. Let's dive in. Secret number 1, cruise ships operate a 3-tier caste system that segregates crew by race. This isn't some conspiracy theory. This is documented, verified, and happening right now in ships you've probably been on. Here's how it works. The ship divides everyone into 3 categories: officers, staff, and crew. Sounds innocent enough, right? Wrong. Officers are almost always white Europeans or Americans. They eat in their own dining rooms with real silverware, sleep in decent quarters, and can use certain passenger areas. Staff are mid-level, usually Europeans in guest-facing roles. They get what one former worker called westernized food. Then there's crew with a capital C. These are predominantly people of color from the Philippines, Indonesia, India, the Caribbean. And here's where it gets dark. They're confined to what multiple former workers described as dirty mess halls below deck. One youth worker named Sarah Bowes documented it. The crew were only allowed to eat in their mess hall and were only served Asian and Caribbean food, like meat on the bone. And frankly, it was a bit dirty down there. But here's the kicker that'll make your blood boil. An American crew member discovered he was making $1,100 a month, while his Filipino supervisor, doing more work with more responsibility, was making significantly less. When he asked why, officials literally told him, the dollar is worth more to people from developing countries. They're not even trying to hide it. It's segregation at sea, and it's happening in 2025. Secret number 2, every cruise ship has a morgue, and they use it way more than you think. This one's going to mess with you. Over 200 people die on cruise ships every single year. That's almost 1 every other day, and ships are required to have morgues that can hold 5 to 6 bodies at any given time. But here's what former crew members revealed that'll haunt your next cruise. There are emergency codes you hear over the intercom that you don't even realize are about death and disaster. Code Alpha means medical emergency. Code Oscar means man overboard. And when you hear these codes, crew members know exactly what's happening, while passengers just keep eating at the buffet. One former crew member told this story that I can't get out of my head. A passenger died in the hot tub on the first night of a cruise, but instead of immediately removing the body, other passengers kept using the hot tub for hours, not realizing they were literally bathing next to a corpse. The crew had propped him up with sunglasses to avoid panic while they figured out what to do. Another passenger dropped dead on a treadmill that was visible through glass walls to the pool deck. Families watched this man die while crew scrambled to block off the area. And here's the really disturbing part. Ships often can't dock for days, so these bodies stay in the morgue, below deck, while everyone above is doing the conga line and eating shrimp. Oh, and those jails I mentioned, yeah, every ship has a fully functional brig. For passengers who assault crew members, for serious crimes at sea, it's literally a floating prison that nobody talks about. Secret number 3, crew members live in conditions that would be illegal in any developed country. I'm talking about 9 by 9 foot windowless cabins below the waterline, shared by up to 4 people in bunk beds. The bathrooms are so small that, as one crew member put it, you can sit on the toilet, shower, and brush your teeth all at once. But it gets worse. Dutch authorities just fined Royal Caribbean 600,000 euros for forcing 85 employees to work over 16 hours a day. Brazilian officials literally rescued 13 MSC crew members from what they called slave-like conditions. We're not talking about the 1800s here. This was last year. The numbers are insane. Crew members work 10 to 20 hours a day, 7 days a week for 6 to 10 months straight. 0 days off. Not weekends, not holidays, nothing. One Norwegian crew member documented working 18 to 20 hours daily during a norovirus outbreak. For this, basic crew earn as little as $545 a month. Do the math. That's less than $1.50 an hour. P&O Cruises was caught paying crew members 75 pence an hour. That's $1.20 in 2022, on ships where passengers are dropping $15 for a cocktail. Secret number 4, there's an underground economy run by nationality-based mafias. This is where things get wild. Below deck, there's an entire black market economy that passengers have no idea exists. Former crew members call them mafias, and I'm not being dramatic here. That's literally what they're called. The Filipino mafia controls alcohol smuggling. They'll get you premium liquor for huge markups because crew can't afford passenger prices. The Indian mafia runs food distribution, getting good ingredients for crew parties since the crew food is, and I quote, goat foot stew and mystery meat. But here's the craziest part: hard drives. Hard drives containing movies and pornography are traded, as one crew member said, like actual cash money. Why? Because internet is so expensive and slow that downloading anything is impossible. These hard drives are currency. They're power. They're entertainment for people stuck at sea for months. And the parties? Oh man. One musician said his roommate asked him to urinate in a condom so he could hide it in his pants to pass drug tests. That's the level of insanity happening below deck while you're asleep in your balcony suite. Secret number 5, the hookup culture is so intense it has its own vocabulary. 60% of single crew members and 40% of taken crew members hook up during contracts. There's even a term for it, sea hot. That's when isolation and limited options make people attractive who wouldn't get a second look on land. One female crew member revealed, after constantly being pursued by 5 or 6 different crewmates every night in the crew bar, she told me she'd never got this kind of attention on land, and it was really addictive. But here's where it gets messy. Married crew members routinely have separate relationships on ships versus at home. It's so common there's an unspoken rule: what happens at sea stays at sea. The drama is insane. Love triangles, breakups in the middle of contracts where you still have to work together for months. STD outbreaks so common that prevention posters are everywhere in crew areas. And if crew hooks up with a passenger, immediate termination. Do not pass go. Do not collect your final paycheck. You're off the ship at the next port, passport in hand if you're lucky, trying to find your own way home. Secret number 6, cruise lines literally confiscate passports and trap workers at sea. This is not hyperbole. When crew members board, most cruise lines take their passports for safekeeping. What that really means is you can't leave even if you want to. Former crew members describe feeling like prisoners. You can't quit mid-contract without losing everything you've earned. You can't leave at port because you don't have your documents. And if you complain, you're blacklisted from the entire industry. In 2012, Carnival fired and blacklisted 150 Indian waiters for staging a 90-minute protest about wages. 90 minutes. That's all it took to end 150 careers and ban them from ever working on ships again. The message was clear: shut up or lose everything. Secret number 7, passengers regularly assault and abuse crew members with 0 consequences. This one makes me angry. Sexual assault reports on cruise ships hit 131 incidents in 2023 alone, and that's just what's reported. Crew members, especially women, are constantly harassed by drunk passengers who know the crew can't fight back. One MSC crew member was grabbed by the arms, had her face licked by a passenger, then was thrown on a bed while he threatened to find her if she reported it. What happened to him? Nothing. What happened to her? She had to keep serving him drinks for the rest of the cruise. But it's not just sexual assault. Passengers scream at crew members over the weather. They throw food when shore excursions are canceled. They literally spit on workers who tell them the buffet is closed. And crew members have to stand there, smile, and take it because one complaint from a passenger can end their career. Secret number 8, crew members are under 24/7 surveillance that would be illegal anywhere else. Cameras monitor crew everywhere except inside their cabins. Security watches them during off hours, during meals, even walking to their quarters. Random breathalyzer tests happen constantly. Drug tests where, remember, people are peeing in condoms for their roommates. Crew doors have to stay open during cleaning so security can monitor them. They're forbidden from fraternizing with passengers. They can't even eat in passenger dining areas on their time off. It's a level of control that one human rights organization literally called modern slavery. Before we get to the last secret, if you're as shocked as I was learning this stuff, hit that subscribe button. I've got more videos exposing what really happens in the travel industry that companies don't want you to know. And drop cruise for you in the comments if you made it this far, because this last one is going to blow your mind. Secret number 9, the food waste alone could feed entire countries, but crew members eat garbage. While passengers gorge themselves at buffets where 40% of food gets thrown away, crew members below deck are eating what they describe as high school cafeteria food for a year, and rice and mystery meat every single day. Here's what's insane. Cruise ships waste over $1 billion of food annually. A single ship throws away enough food to feed 10,000 people. But crew members are eating slop so bad that most lose 10 to 12 pounds per contract just from not being able to stomach the food. Former crew revealed that while passengers get fresh fruit flown in by helicopter if they run out, crew gets served expired products that would be illegal to serve on land. One crew member found maggots in the rice. Another said the meat was so questionable that vegetarianism wasn't a choice, it was survival. But here's the part that really gets me. Remember that caste system? Officers get restaurant-quality meals, staff get decent food, but the crew, the people working 18-hour days to make your vacation perfect, they get whatever's left, prepared in kitchens that would fail any health inspection on land. The saddest part? Many crew members send most of their pathetic wages home to support families. They're literally starving themselves, working in slave conditions, so their kids can go to school. While above them, passengers complain that the chocolate fountain isn't dark enough chocolate. Look, I love cruising as much as anyone, but we need to know what our vacation money is supporting. These aren't just employees having a tough job. These are human beings trapped in conditions that humanitarian organizations have compared to modern slavery. Next time you're on a cruise, remember the person cleaning your room hasn't had a day off in 6 months. The waiter serving your 5th meal of the day might be eating expired rice with mystery meat. And that smile they're required to wear, it's hiding a reality that would horrify you if you saw it. If you want to know more about what cruise lines are hiding, check out this video about things they've secretly banned that nobody saw coming. Trust me, after learning what I just shared, you'll never look at cruising the same way again. Thanks for watching, and seriously, be kind to crew members. They're going through more than you can imagine.